We're Trent Allie, and after a series of unfortunate events, we ended up with a major win.
Things are looking up! We passed our four-way inspection!
But we are no longer able to energize our panel. On top of that,
Houston, we have a problem. We woke up to 50 degrees in the middle of the night inside the trailer.
but we're focusing on the positives.
Can you hear me now? Dude on diddly.
The end is near. The light at the end of the tunnel is getting bigger and bigger. Subscribe and come along today as things start to fall into place.
And we're ready to insulate, baby.
Heck yeah!
Somewhere down the line, words unsaid, will they undermine?
Good morning, guys. We are waking up bright and early, and it's the day after our four-way inspection, and we have a lot of work to do, but it's really exciting because finally it means we can start moving on to big projects like insulation and drywall, and then maybe like painting and decorating. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's really exciting to know that we're on to the next chapter and maybe the halfway point or a little past the halfway point in our build. Trent and Brandon are getting to work and I'm getting the dogs ready. We're gonna play outside for a little bit and then see if we can help them out. Good morning.
How's it going? Just back to our age-old battle of trying to figure out why electricity hates me. Even though this is an absolute nightmare and we can't figure out what's wrong with it, today, Brandon and I have walkie-talkies.
Hey!
Come in, Brandon.
Copy that.
Perfect. So Brandon's gonna live at the panel down there and reset the breaker. Every time I try to do something here, I'm gonna do some trial and error to figure out what breaker or what wire is being connected to cause this thing to trip. And instead of having to run down to the panel 1,000 times, we're gonna be able to do it just with the walkie-talkies. When you talk, you gotta hold the button down for a second before you talk. I'm only getting the end of what you're saying.
Can you hear me now? Dude on diddly.
I would say we were good together. I would say we had fun.
Same thing, just tripped immediately.
Okay, that was just taking all the breakers off. I'm gonna disconnect the neutral wires now and see if that makes a difference.
In case we didn't reiterate what's going on here, when we had our four-way inspection, we had to fill up the entire plumbing system with water for a pressure test. A floor drain plug popped, released the pressure, and water spilled all over our electrical panel. Oh my god! So even though we basically passed our four-way inspection, which is a huge monumental achievement, we are no longer able to energize our panel. Super frustrating.
Okay, go ahead and reset it. If this light turns on, then we've got some good news.
Give me just a sec, I'm taking a leak.
Come on, Brandon, we've got big moments of suspense here. Gotta do what you gotta do. You know?
Alright, here we go.
Hey!
It's working! I'm gonna start putting breakers on one at a time, and I'm gonna be telling you to turn the breaker off and then turn the breaker on like every 2 seconds. So turn it off right now, turn it on.
Yeah!
All right, so hold on. All right, we're making great progress. I got the breaker installed that goes to the light and the other things in the utility room. So we know that the panel's working and that breaker is working, which means There's another problem somewhere else in the panel, and we're gonna find it. Number 2 is installed. Turn the power back on. Dude on diddly, we are in business. Turn it off again. All right, turn it back on.
Hey.
All right, breaker number 3 is good. Turn it off.
Just wanna get to know you. I don't know you, but I want to.
Okay, we're good. Turn it off.
Wow, how handy are these walkie-talkies? No good.
That's the one.
Well, it's one of the ones.
So take that out and start putting other ones in and see if it does it to anybody else. Yeah?
Did you come up with that
I
idea?
came with that up. I came up
You
with that.
came that up with that?
All by myself.
Right. On,
Nothing.
off, on,
Hmm.
off.
This whole right side just got more wet, maybe.
I don't know. We had it tested in this configuration a minute ago and it was working, and now it's not working. So try it again.
Nope.
Well, this is pretty frustrating, but we're trying not to let ourselves get too discouraged because honestly, the worst case scenario is we need to buy new breakers and rewire the panel, which is annoying and time consuming, but not the end of the world. Everything else passed and the electrical panel itself looks good, it just got wet, which is a huge bummer. But as soon as we can get this figured out, we can move on to everything else we have planned to do today. Hopefully this doesn't take too much longer.
On, off, on, off. You enjoying yourself?
Yeah, this is great.
On, off.
At least it's working.
I've like actually got it pretty narrowed down here.
Okay.
Using our walkie-talkies, I've been able to tell Brandon to turn the panel on and turn the panel off every time I make a change. And so I've gotten it down to these 4 breakers. Every time I plug one of these 4 breakers in, it trips.
Okay.
And so those 4 breakers either got wet or are just faulty now, because who knows why. Basically, I think if water gets inside these breakers, then even when they're off, water can bridge the gap so that it's like they're on. And then as soon as you plug them in, if the wires in those circuits are touching anywhere, it's gonna trip the breaker. So I'm thinking that's what happened. The only other thing to do now would be to take these 4 breakers out, take them to Home Depot, exchange them for new ones, bring them here and install them in the panel and see if they work. Turn it on. There she goes.
Hey.
We have power to the furnace. So after maybe like 30 minutes of like trying to figure out exactly what's wrong, we've kind of boiled it down to these 4 breakers are bad. The furnace is working, the light is working. Things are looking up. We passed our 4-way inspection. I've been excited that we passed the 4-way, but I've been losing sleep and dreading this and trying to like figure out why the panel would not work. But now I know, because these 4 breakers probably got water in them, and maybe we could put them in the sun and like they would be fine and I could install them and they would work later, but just for troubleshooting's sake, it's really easy to take them out and go and exchange them.
And peace of mind.
And peace of mind, because I don't want this to be a problem later where I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
But we did it.
Cool! Brandon with the walkie-talkies.
Game changer.
It really is. That's
So
awesome.
much better.
All right, so we did a little bit more troubleshooting. I took some of the good breakers and replaced them with the bad breakers, and they tripped. Which means it's probably not the breakers, and that means there's either water in the panel somewhere that's causing this issue, water somewhere else that I am having trouble wrapping my head around, but we've got the furnace working, we've got the lights working with those 4 breakers removed. I'm gonna keep the furnace pumping out heat and hopefully it'll dry out the basement, evaporate any water that might be down there in the panel or around anything else. And hopefully that fixes our problem. If not, there's gonna be some crazy diagnostic work going on and I'm not gonna be happy about it. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Now that we've got that figured out and that the heat is on and drying out the house, we can actually start moving on to low voltage, which means today we're gonna be running wires for the power blinds and we're gonna be running wires for the security cameras. All right, so basically this is a 4-conductor speaker wire and we have to run this all the way down underneath the stairs, and then we have to run one piece to the left side of every single set of windows that we're gonna have the power blinds in. Then there's basically gonna be a little computer, a little head unit that's gonna connect to all of these wires, and it's gonna be connected to like Alexa or at least some electric switches where you can either ask Alexa or use your phone to close all of the blinds. You can set it so that they close the blinds at a specific time of day. And this is gonna be really convenient. Right now we're pulling all the wires to go from the windows all the way down into underneath the stairs. And I'm really glad the furnace is on because it's really starting to warm up in here. All right, we've been chugging away here. We got the wires ran for these 2 windows upstairs. We also ran the wires for the 2 master bedroom windows. We got the wire ran for the kitchen window. Now we just need to run the wire for this main window right here, the window under the stairs, and the tall window on the landing, and we're done. That's like really easy for the oh, well, actually, we gotta run the wires for all of the windows in the sunroom because I want those to be able to just like at the flip of a switch, like close all those windows as well. So I guess we got more to do.
What if I open my soul? Here I stand by myself on my own. What if I lose all control and take a step out into the unknown? Oh, oh, oh. What do I know? What's going on now? Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I let go?
Houston, we have a problem. The auger bit went in so far that when I tried to hit reverse and reverse it out, it unscrewed off of the drill. And now I like can't get on it again. About time.
Very nice. Things are going really well. We finished, for the most part, working on the panel. We have a little bit of work to do tomorrow when we fix those breakers, and hopefully that solves the problem. And they're just finishing up wiring all the low voltage stuff in the house right now. So then hopefully tomorrow we can start insulation. It's been a super productive day, and at the end of every day, I pretty much have to come back to the computer, work on emails and all the administrative stuff behind the scenes, especially prep for the next few days, ordering supplies, and that's where Honey comes into play. Honey is the sponsor of today's video. Honey is a free browser extension that scours the internet for promo codes and automatically tests them when you're checking out to save you money. You can get Honey on your computer for free in 2 easy clicks. When you're checking out on one of its 30,000 supported sites, Honey will pop up and all you have to do is click Apply Coupons. If Honey finds a working code, then you just watch as the price drops. Honey has found its over 17 million members over $2 billion in savings. And Honey supports all kinds of retailers, from tech and gaming sites to clothing brands to even food delivery. It continues to save me so much money on supplies for the house. It's super simple, it's free, and it works on any browser. If you have a computer and you do shopping online, I highly recommend Honey. You can actually try it out by going to joinhoney.com/Trent Allie. Thanks again to Honey for sponsoring today's video. I am going to finish up this work, get a little bit more done, and we'll see you guys in the morning.
If you got the time, I'd like to stay a while. Do you remember like to move a little closer now. I'd like to be as close to you as I can get. If I could stop the time, I sure would. In this moment, I really wish I could. Do you feel the same way as I do? That feeling of just knowing that.
What's up, guys? We have had a interesting night. We have a propane regulator problem in the trailer, which I replaced the regulator and it's still having issues. The propane company came out and said everything's fine, and it's still having issues. So we woke up to 50 degrees in the middle of the night inside the trailer. Had to get up and fix that in the middle of the night. Today is gonna be an exciting day. We got the rest of the wires ran. Well, we're actually short a little bit of wire to do all the power blinds. I need like 50 more feet. I had to buy some extra wire. It's gonna show up in probably like 5 days and we can finish doing those. But today, we're gonna be running the Ethernet cables for the security cameras. There's gonna be 4 on this structure, and so we're gonna run those wires today. And then Brandon has a special delivery that he's bringing up today that's gonna make a big difference in what's going on in here. Special delivery. As you can see, that giant pallet worth of all kinds of stuff in the back of Brandon's truck is bags of insulation. And that means today, once we get done with the security cameras, we're gonna be starting to insulate, which is really, really exciting.
Nothing got lost on the highway?
Almost.
Really? Wow.
Had to pull over and cinch it down.
So the insulation that we're gonna be using in our house is rock wool or mineral wool. Now rock wool used to be a company and then they changed their name to Roxul, which is R-O-X-U-L. And it's like a pretty sought after type of insulation as of late. And not a lot of companies, especially around here, even carry it. So like you can order it, and obviously we didn't plan very well because if I order it right now, it doesn't show up for 2 or 3 weeks. And we need it like now. And there's a different company, Owens Corning, which is like the Pink Panther brand. They have like a little Pink Panther like icon. They do a lot of fiberglass insulation. They've started making a mineral wool insulation, which is just like Roxul, but it's cheaper. And I doubt that the quality is as good. So I'm like kind of hesitant, but we don't really have a choice right now. So we picked up some bags of that insulation. We're gonna be using it in the walls. Now the exterior insulation is also going to be Roxul. And you have to order it, and it's a special order. And I had to order 40 units, and I think that's enough to do half of our exterior envelope.
Oh man.
Also, you have to deliver it somewhere, and this is probably gonna show up in a semi, and they can't come up here, and I don't have anywhere else to deliver it. So Brandon is gonna let us deliver it to his house.
Thanks, Brandon.
Oh yeah.
And we're just hoping that it fits in his garage, because I don't know how big 40 units are. I know that the boards are only like 2 by 4 feet, and I think there's only like 5 of them in a unit, and they're 1.5 inches. So it should be like
His
9
entire
by
garage.
2 by 4 times 40. Might be kind of big.
I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. You say that you're from out of town. I'm hoping that you stick around.
All right, so I think there is just enough cable out there. It's going to reach perfectly. Now I'm just gonna put a little piece of tape on the end of that Ethernet so that the elements don't bother it. And Brandon is cutting a hole for the hood range. We're gonna try and get that installed really quick, I think. Run a wire to it. And then we're ready to insulate, baby.
Heck yeah.
Put your trust into us and we will help you through. 'Cause we only want what's best for you. I know that you are having trouble believing living right now. That everything is gonna be alright.
Yeah, put that hole saw back on and wobble it out a little bit. It's just that like the duct is like exactly 6 inches and the hole saw is like exactly 6 inches. So you have to kind of like wobble them out to get it to fit. But then once you wobble it out a little bit, it fits really tight and you like, you know, you
gotta
goop
do the
around
wobble?
it. You gotta do the wobble, you know, just a little wobble here, wobble there.
I just wanna dance it off. Ignore the world with me tonight. Wanna dance it off. Put your body next to mine. I can't get the smile off my face. Don't really have a reason why, but I don't even have to try. This feeling.
So this might not look very exciting to the untrained eye. We're about to shove a little bit of 12 gauge 2-wire Romex up through this hole in the floor. And if my calculations are correct, this is the last piece of wiring, pipe, ducting, anything that needs to be run through anywhere or done anything with. Once he sticks this up here, I'm gonna put some fire foam in that hole, some fire foam in this hole, and we're ready to insulate.
You show me that I don't need somebody. I only need myself, now it's just me. I'm gonna be free, be free. I'm free. You show me that I don't need somebody. I only need myself, now it's just me. I'm gonna be free.
So the main reasons we wanted to use Roxol or mineral wool type insulation is because it's fireproof, it's waterproof, it's anti-mold, and it's much less toxic than breathing in fiberglass particles. It's all around just a better option for us, and I think we're gonna continue to make the sunroom kind of like our storage room. It used to be the cut room, and now I've cleaned it all out. It's super echoey and empty in here, and we're gonna insulate this room first, and then move everything from the house into the sunroom as like the storage room while we insulate the rest of the house. We have a dead dog on the floor. Everything else has been cleaned up. There used to be a huge wood pile right here, and now that's right there. Somebody will have to take care of that eventually. But things are coming together and we're pretty much ready to insulate in this room as soon as the guys are done wiring up the cables for the security system. What are you doing?
Let me get the dog some water.
That is the riskiest thing. We do not need any more water on the floor in this house.
Okay, carried all but 3 of the bats, or the packages of bats, up here to the house. We're winded, yes. It's, you know, we're out of shape, what can I say? All right, so we're gonna come in here and we are going to get to work insulating. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, this is mineral wool. So it's kind of similar to fiberglass, except for fibers being made out of glass. It's made out of basalt rock and slag and some other products. It's basically rocks that are like stretched out and turned into fibers and woven together. Really cool stuff. Anyway, you don't want to be breathing the particles that come from it, so we're going to be putting masks on so that we're not breathing a bunch of the stuff. And we're going to be filling these cavities with insulation. And it should go really fast.
Pretend to tell me what to believe. I ain't got a sweet tooth for lying. Spend to show me how to succeed. My wallet is spreading thin. Oh,
Where were you born?
Utah.
In the dark.
I was born in the dark. Wearing this sucks.
ooh, ooh, what to say? Please make the strain go away. Pretender. How many right turns to reach some kind of goal? How many dressing up for me to play some ball. Seasons change, still the same range.
Great success.
Oh my god. All kinds of itchy.
All kinds of itchy, really?
No, it's not that.
Never want to go back in there.
Oh no. Is it just a dust storm in there?
No, it's fine. It's not even, the material isn't like that irritating. It's just kind of, insulating is not a fun job.
Oh really?
Yeah, it sucks.
You just kind of like push it in though, right? It's easy at least.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Yeah, you just kind of push it in like shoveling 2 feet of snow is just kind of pushing snow around. Oh, that's where my drips are coming from.
You get your slobber drips.
Something dripped on me and I couldn't figure out what it was.
Ew!
My mask.
Ew! Drooling on yourself?
Ah! Well, we're done insulating the sunroom. That was fast,
That's
right?
awesome. That was like 20 minutes.
I mean, we still have to do the exterior insulation, so
What about the inside, the ceiling of the sunroom?
it's spray foam.
Okay. Sweet!
Ooh, ooh, what to do? I am me and not you. Ooh, ooh, what to say? Please make the string go away.
How was that for you?
That was great. I got the entire upstairs floor ready for insulation, so we can start up, and I will start to move all the tools and stuff that's in the main floor of the house into the sunroom now that that's done. So by the time they're done insulating upstairs, I should have everything cleaned out down here for them to start insulating. And I hope this process goes as quickly and smoothly as that sunroom did.
I know I complain a lot. I'm just going to start by saying that. But I do want to also point out that these bats, they come in like a specific width so that it fits in between studs that are spaced at 16 inches on center, which is really convenient. This house pretty much has like 5 studs that are spaced 16 inches on center because every stud that is 16 inches on center has a window or a door or a post or something in it that makes it so that they're not spaced at 16 inches. And then all of these tall walls and most of the walls upstairs are 12 inches on center.
Oh, perfect.
Which means we have to cut every piece of insulation. Now, they do make these bats in 24-inch on center
Oh,
spacing.
perfect.
So you just cut it down the middle and then you have 2.
Exactly.
But those are like non-existent. Everywhere that I look for them online, like you can order all the rest of them. You can't order the 24-inch on center. It's like the company's just decided, Trent Allie are probably building a house that needs these, and we're not gonna make them right now.
It's the journey.
It is the journey. Right now, the journey is like walking through waist-deep mud, but I'm having a great time. I'm just happy to be making some progress and not having to be wiring or plumbing or
Seriously.
doing anything else like that anymore. Oh, a little leftover Indian food.
You know, I'm really excited about the insulation, but I've been thinking about these leftovers all day long.
Ellie and I both love Indian food, and I would say one of the things that I missed the most about being abroad when we were traveling for so long was Indian food.
Yeah, it's true.
And we have some amazing Indian food here in Salt Lake City.
So let's eat it.
I hope you guys enjoyed coming along on today's adventure. Starting the insulation, we are turning a page. It's a new chapter, the life of post 4-way inspection.
The end is near. The light at the end of the tunnel is getting bigger and bigger.
I think drywall's the half part. I still don't know what's wrong with the breakers. There's 4 breakers that if I plug them in, the breaker trips. So, still gonna have to figure that out here in the future, but we are moving on nonetheless, and insulation is underway. If you guys enjoyed coming along on today's adventure, make sure you show us by giving us a big thumbs up on today's video. Consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't already.
Thanks again to Honey for sponsoring today's video. Click the link in our description to check them out.
And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Adios!
When I get up